different names. Like God, or Leviathan, or Emmanuel, or Jimmy, or I don't know, or Clarence. Yes. It's fun. I mean, it's. I feel lucky to get to play a character that changes so much, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult. Like when we started episode 721, where Cass is crazy. Ben Edlund was directing, and Ben wrote the episode. And we both kind of had different ideas of how that was going to look on screen. And so, and his first direction in the first scene was just Cass is absolutely ebullient, just full of life and happy and giddy all the time. And so we did a couple of takes like that, and it was like, this isn't really working, is it? And he was like, no, it's not. This isn't good. Let's make it more like, he's very serious. So we went the absolute opposite direction, and we had to sort of on camera find what that character was like, because it was just, we had to play around with it a little bit. But I think we kind of got it at the end. And then I think the cast is going to work back to being more like the cast that we knew back in the old days. Spoiler alert! Don't tell anyone, but I think that's going to happen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I would like to ask you something about your work with the Random Acts.
Okay.
It's really cool what you're doing, especially with Haiti. You've been to Haiti, I think, 2 or 3 times already. 2 times going back this year. You met so many people there, especially the children. Is there any moment that stood out for you and that really, that you remember quite well? If you know what I mean.
What just happened at the end of that question?
I don't know what you're thinking. It was just a very harmless G-rated question.
You have a lot of fun with the children there.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking? No. The thing
Raise your
is,
hand if you thought that question got a little weird at the end.
you said in an interview that meeting the children there was very special for you with all the children.
Yes.
You said that! But you know what I mean.
Excuse me, I need to take a little break. There was actually a moment when I was in Haiti. Has anyone ever been to Haiti before? I know you have. Rhea, if you know what I mean. My most memorable moments were with Rhea, if you know what I mean. I think my most memorable moment there was when I went the first time. I was just walking down the street, and this was about 15 years ago, and there was a lot of there had been a military coup, and people were getting shot on the streets, and it was very bloody and dark time in the country. And there was trash burning in the streets as a sign of protest. And most of the kids you saw had distended abdomens because they were malnourished, and it was just really a desperate, kind of on the surface, a miserable environment. And I was walking down the street, and I went into this little courtyard where some people were drumming, and there were these kids dancing around and playing with some sticks and a little hoop, and just laughing like they were in absolute bliss. And they all were malnourished. You could see their bellies sticking out, and there was something so pure and innocent and life-affirming in their eyes. And it made me realize, I mean, I literally thought at that moment, I don't think I've ever seen a group of American children playing together and being so absolutely and purely happy as these kids were. And I definitely took away a life lesson from that, which is that, you know, all of the material comforts that we enjoy in Western civilization don't really mean shit. You know, it's so much more about what goes on inside, and it's really easy to forget that. So.
Thank you very much.